Miss Martin, you say that the father of your 4 kids treats your newborn baby like an evil stepchild.
Yes, Your Honor.
Because he doubts paternity.
Yes, Your Honor.
And furthermore, you claim that his behavior has forced you to take the kids and leave him.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're asking the court to award you $3,100 for the next 6 months of child care expenses.
Yes, Your Honor.
I should get
All
that.
right, Mr. Blackman, you argue that Ms. Martin has confessed to cheating with another man and it has left you unsure which of you fathered your youngest child.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Ms. Martin's lover has also been tested and we will meet him in a moment.
You say her lover?
Ms. Martin's lover.
Your lover?
That's what he was at the time.
All right, so Ms. Martin, when did your relationship with Mr. Blackman start to go downhill?
When I stopped feeling loved and appreciated. Like, we have 5 kids together. 6 with his daughter is also my stepchild. I just never felt love appreciated. He always called me fat, you know, you lazy, you nasty, you don't do this, you don't do that. But how can I when I got a man saying all these things to me? Like, you expect to come home.
I can only say what I see. I can only say what I come home to.
Hold on now.
You expect to come home to a cooked meal and all of this.
Sometime.
I never even got a back rub. I carried and bared 4 children for you.
You never got a, that's the only way I would get some is to give you a back rub.
Exactly.
Right,
so what type
so
of man
don't say
are
that
you,
then.
though?
Don't say that.
What type of man does that make
Don't
you?
say that.
Okay.
Well, what about when I get tired of coming home, seeing you with nasty feet hanging off the couch, the kids running up to me, talking about they hungry.
Oh, Mr. Blackman, really?
He
Yes,
refused.
yes.
When you got all these kids, a pedicure is the last thing on your list. Now, you're in this
Because I gave him an ultimatum. I was ready to get married. I feel like after 6 years, why are you not ready? That's because you exploring your options. Maybe you looking for something better. I don't know. But if that's the case, then let me go.
So you left.
Yes. And he begged me to come back, and now he wants to get
I asked you
married.
to come back because it's around Christmas time, and I ain't never spent the Christmas away from my
Whatever.
children.
He could
I
have
ain't
had.
begged you to do nothing.
He could have
All
had
right,
his kids
so
without me.
you left, and while you were gone, you
I
met.
Triandos.
All right, Mr. Stevenson.
Yes.
Tell me about that relationship.
I met him. We got drunk. We had sex. And I liked it, and he made me feel good, better than he made me feel ever.
So you were with him for about 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you feel guilty? Did you miss home?
I didn't feel guilty because he did a lot. He cheated. He's not no saint. I didn't feel guilty because
no saint, but
I
we
was
got
faithful to
past
him.
that though. We got past. We were trying to build a life together. That you claimed.
He thought that we got past it, but I was still dealing with a lot of hurt and pain. I wanted to make it work for my kids.
But you see, Your Honor, she wanted to make it work for her kids, not for me. So I mean, she
You
couldn't
wasn't
be
trying to make it work for me.
So you were in an intimate relationship with Mr. Stevenson.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you go back to Mr. Blackman?
Yes, she
Yes.
came back.
I did.
Why did you go back?
Because I loved him. I was not in love with him, but I loved him, and I thought we had a fighting chance.
So you went back at that point, were you faithful to Mr. Blackman?
Yes, Your Honor.
He's shaking his head no.
Well, let's say I don't believe that.
That smirk you did after the statement, I was faithful, did not look truthful.
Thank you.
So what's the truth?
I was not faithful to him because I caught feelings for Triandos.
All right. So you weren't faithful to him. You were still sleeping with Mr. Stevenson.
Yes, Your Honor. I was dropping him off at work, dropping the kids off at school, and I was going to be with him for the rest of the day.
So when the van got
And you
stuck,
were intimate with Mr. Stevenson
When
and
the van-
also Mr. Blackman,
Yes, Your Honor. Around the same time.
and you were trying to say Mr. Blackman?
well, I was trying to say that we have a
My-
van that goes
It
out from
broke
time to
down.
time.
It broke
and the
down.
first time it broke down, it needed a fuel pump. Then this like 2-3 days. Then the second time it went out for a
And it
whole
cost
week and a half.
$350.
I'm talking to her on the phone. Why you ain't trying to get home? Oh, I'm worried about somebody stealing the van. I go out there, get a battery, a charge. Didn't have to change nothing. Give a battery a charge, the van start right up.
Oh, so you're saying she got out there and said the van broke down and was out there hanging out and being with Mr. Stevenson,
Yes.
but pretending to you she had a breakdown and had no way to get home.
Exactly.
Is this true, Ms. Martin?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so you find out you're pregnant. Do you tell Mr. Stevenson and Mr. Blackman?
I told both of them.
No, she tried to pass the baby off on me first. She gonna come tell me some mess about we know we can't afford no baby, and they told me I got pregnant in such and such month, and then she tell me the sex of the baby. I look at it and tell you know this ain't my baby. There's no way. She talking about, well, it's a possibility.
Because it is a possibility. We had sex.
All right, so did you tell Mr. Stevenson that he may be the father too?
Yes, Your Honor.
What was his reaction?
He was happy for a minute, and then he just disappeared. He completely disappeared. I didn't hear from him for another 4 or 5 months.
Happy for a minute, then disappeared?
Mm-hmm.
Jerome, I think it's time we meet Mr. Stevenson. Please escort him into the courtroom. If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. Mr. Stevenson, thank you for being here. When Ms. Martin told you she was pregnant, what was your initial reaction?
First, I was happy, and then I just disappeared.
She said that. That's exactly what she said. Why did you disappear?
She kept calling me a deadbeat daddy, this and that, that and that. I got tired of listening to
Because
her.
he wasn't there. That's what you was. He brought a used car seat to the hospital.
Who did?
Mr. Stevenson.
Who did? Well, okay, not to be funny, but what's
So
wrong
when
with a
was he at
used
the
car
hospital?
It
seat?
had stains all over it.
When was he at the hospital? So what he been to the hospital?
Yeah, he came to the hospital.
This is news to you, huh, Mr.
After
Black?
the
Promise you
baby,
to God,
after the baby
on my
was
children's
born, he
life.
came to the hospital.
I ain't never know this man came to no hospital.
After the baby was born, me, my mother, and my granny.
Well, what part? What you forgot to tell me that part, huh?
No, I didn't think it was important.
You didn't think it was important
No.
because of what?
Hold on. She said she didn't tell you that part because she didn't think it was important.
Nobody stepped up. He was there, but he had to go back home to the kids. After I had the baby, Mr. Stevenson came. He was just like, oh, well, I want a DNA test, and he want the baby to have his name, but he didn't want to sign a birth certificate. But drilling me about a last name or a name, and I gave him Blackman. My baby name is Jeremiah Blackman.
So you gave him Mr. Blackman's last name?
Because
Yes,
of
Your
some
Honor.
Please
pressure from
hand me that
somebody.
evidence she has.
And nobody
Jerome,
signed
hand
the
me
birth
that.
certificate. My name is the only one on there.
Well, you want to give your
Yeah,
child
so why are
name.
you so stuck on giving them my name then? I mean, you just told me I did the exact same thing he
That's a fair
did.
question, Miss Martin. Why his name?
Because I thought the baby was his.
In your heart, you thought it was his.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Blackman, do you believe Ramirez your baby? Mr. Blackman, do you believe Ramirez your baby?
Your Honor, it's a possibility.
Well, it's a possibility. Then why do you treat him like crap?
Ms. Martin, how does he treat Ramir differently?
He don't touch him. He won't even look at him. Like, if he in the same room, he just act totally blank. If the baby start crying and I step out the room, he sending the kids, tell your mama to come get that baby.
Your Honor,
My
it's
daughter,
true.
my daughter is 4. She told him to his face, like, why are you treating that baby? Why are you treating the baby like this, Daddy? Get your baby. Hold your baby. Why are you doing my mommy like this?
All right, now listen. Mr. Blackman, I'm trying to understand, are you truly treating this child poorly?
If you compare it to the way I treat my other children, yes.
All right, so Ms. Martin, you've brought a witness. Please stand, ma'am, and state your name.
My name is Gloria Blackman. I'm Mr. Blackman's sister.
Here as Ms. Martin's witness.
My brother, he's so far wrong. That's a baby. As far as I'm concerned, neither one of them did anything. I did everything from the day the baby was born to right now.
So, Ms. Blackman, let me ask you, do you believe Ramir is your biological nephew?
I do. I think he looks like the child, the youngest before him. I think he looks just like him. I think he has my brother's nose. You know.
And I see it makes you very emotional just to talk about the child.
Well, it's like, I feel so hurt for both of them. They just like, it's crazy.
But
she
it's
got
not my fault.
What?
I didn't tell her to go lay with this man.
But so what? You had
times, Rail.
It's still about the baby, though,
all type
Rail.
of women around my kids.
It's still
my
about the
kids
baby.
coming
It's
telling
still
me
about
how
the
they
baby.
sleeping in the bed with you and another woman.
And I can't.
So how do you think that made me feel?
Oh,
Mr.
and
Black.
I didn't know that. And you know what? He's acting hard. He loves this woman and he just fronting. It's gonna kill him and it's breaking my heart for both of them because I love them so much and they have such beautiful 4 children together. And it's just, this stuff is just, it's killing me.
All right, Ms. Blackman, thank you so much for your
You're
testimony.
welcome.
You may be seated. Now, Mr. Stevenson, have you been around at all since the baby's been born?
She won't even bring them around me. I seen them twice. At the hospital when she came to my house probably a week later. Other than that, I haven't seen
You
them,
took the
period.
baby to the man's house?
She
He
sure
needed a
did.
father. You didn't want to be there.
She sure did.
So she brought the baby to your house.
Yes, ma'am.
And then after that, what happened?
He
I
started
ain't
denying them all over again after he bragged my
Because-
baby's this,
because-
my baby's that.
Because at the same time, she
pictures
started
and-
calling me a deadbeat
Because
daddy.
what
I
were
got
you
tired
doing?
of it.
What were you doing? You didn't do
And
anything.
then,
Came up
she
to the
texted my
hospital
phone and tell
empty-handed.
me the baby ain't showing no weight.
Ms. Martin, from where I sit, it does sound like you perhaps have been playing both sides of this equation when
Your
it's
Honor.
convenient for you.
That's not true.
Listen,
That's not true.
If
That's
both
not
of these
true.
men could be your
Because-
child's father, and you had them both at the hospital, and you've let them both spend time with the child since he was born, why don't they both understand that?
why
And
would you
you're
was living-
only suing one of them.
Because he treated me like crap, and he was the reason I had to leave my house because it was too stressful for me. And I feel like he owed me for moving expenses in my bills and everything.
You are suing for $3,100.
Yes, Your Honor. Until I'm able to get up on my feet, being that we do have these other kids together.
What's getting me is that you standing here suing Mr. Blackman,
Suing
but
Mr.
you mad at
Blackman.
Mr. Stevenson because he brought a used car seat up, look, for a baby that he wasn't even sure was his.
And I told him he could have kept it. I left it there where it was.
Well, for a woman with so much nerve that you can tell people to take their car seat and take their this, why don't you have enough money to move yourself and you got to rely on his sister to pay for your child that you lay down and made with 2 different men and don't know who the father is, and you sitting up here talking about they not man enough to do this and he not man enough to do this, when you not woman enough to know that when you lay down with men and have a baby and don't know which one's the daddy, you the one that's going to be responsible till you figure out who's the daddy. Now, we got an arbitration. You suing this man, got all the receipts, every receipt. Because you've been through this before.
And he got what he needed.
Hold on.
Not
He
from
got
you.
what he needed. From whom?
Miss Blackman.
Thank you.
Traitor.
And that's why I said
And
the
it
money.
sounds like to me, if there's somebody here that needs to be filing suit, it's Miss Blackman. Your
Yes,
case
Mama.
is dismissed. And the worst part about it is the only people that have truly paid for these mistakes is Ramir and Ms. Blackman. Because he's a baby and he's not getting treated right because the man that he was living with doesn't know if he's the father, so he's treating him like that baby, which is wrong, dad wrong,
I ain't want
all
my
the
kids
way
to
wrong.
see that,
No,
Your
be
Honor.
quiet, I'm sick of all of you. That's wrong. Now, this one over here, he comes up to the hospital trying to offer something, it ain't good enough.
Because it wasn't.
He tried. He doesn't know if the child is his or not. He's trying to figure it out. You call him a deadbeat. This ain't good enough. Next thing you know, he's gone. You're jeopardizing your son being able to have a father.
He ain't nobody done nothing. Like, ain't near one of them stepped up, period.
Hold on. You gotta understand that the only reason why you were in that situation was because why? Why?
Because I put myself in that
That's
situation.
it. That's it. Let's go to the results.
Yeah, I teach you that too, Your Honor.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics and they read as follows. In the case of Martin versus Blackman Stevenson, and whether Rael Blackman or Triando Stevenson is Ramir's father, Mr. Stevenson, you are his father.
Huh?
Come here. You know you trying to be strong. You stop it. Okay. Be all right, okay? Promise me you're gonna be all right. Be all right, Rail, please. Be all right. I'm sorry, you all.
Mr. Blackman,
Yes, Your Honor. My kids, they the one gonna be affected by this. You know? I just want this to be over with.
Mr. Stevenson, how do you feel?
I feel okay. I know the results now. That's all I was waiting on.
And I hope you understand that your son has been under...
He's destroyed a family. That's what he needs to understand, Your Honor. Please
did-
make him understand that.
She destroyed your
Listen.
family.
But you
Your
lay
Honor.
down with it. Y'all sit there and talked about me.
well.
Keep it real, though.
If we're gonna keep it real, let me tell you something. You all can dish it out, but you sure can't take it.
in.
You can't take it. Now you have cheated and done your thing, and you know it. You didn't deny it when she said it, and I'm not saying she's right. But you got a taste of your own medicine now, and it's brutal. All of you have had a part to play in this mess, and all of you have to figure out how to clean it up for Ramir's sake. The court will offer counseling for you, and we are going to refer you to more resources in your home state, because this is not going to be overnight. Whether you like it or not, you're his village. Figure out how to make it work. Are we clear?
Yes.
Court is adjourned. Ms. White, you claim your daughter's low self-esteem and struggles with her weight have led to promiscuity and questions of paternity. Ms. White, you admit you are unsure who fathered your 3-month-old daughter, but say you blame your mother for many of your problems. Now, both possible fathers have been tested and are waiting outside of the courtroom. So, Ms. White, when did you find out about your daughter's promiscuous behavior?
Well, Your Honor, it's been since she's been 12, 13 years old. She created an anger problem toward me, misbehaving in school. She have low self-esteem. She said because her weight problem. I say she looked beautiful to me, but she questionable about her weight. It's not where she wants to be, but she can do something about that. She can go to the Y.
So, Christy, I have to ask you, have you felt uncomfortable regarding your weight?
It's like everywhere you go, you have to be a certain size. And it's like sometimes when I went to school, I wanted to wear True Religion, Rock Republican. I wanted to wear stuff like that, but, I couldn't fit into it. And, as my mom said, she offered to take me to the Y, but when I went up to the Y, I got teased on up there, and it was an incident where, I went in there to exercise, and boys was throwing candy and water on me. I just felt like, even though people could tell you you're beautiful, if I don't feel it, I don't feel like it's true.
Is that why you started to sleep with young men, boys, to try to get that feeling of I'm beautiful, someone loves me, I'm accepted?
Yes, Your Honor, I did. I wanted someone to, Valentine's Day, I wanted gifts. I wanted to be, walk in parks. I wanted all that, and I never got it.
So you were dating and sleeping with more than one guy?
Yes, Your Honor, I was.
At the same time?
Yes.
And Mom, you've been very concerned.
Yes, because my daughter, she's finding love in all the wrong places. I wake up, she want to feel love, she want boyfriends, but you don't find them like that going on Craigslist. Moco space, you jeopardizing your life, you getting into cars at nighttime, sitting in a strange car with people I've never seen before.
All right, so at some point, you found out you were pregnant.
Yes, Your Honor.
Tell me what happened
I was going to my friend's house. You know, I felt as though she was my real friend. She had my best interest in mind. So I was going out with one guy, and you know, if she didn't feel like he was good enough, she would introduce me to another guy. And you know, if he wasn't good enough, it was another guy. So, you know, I always did it to please her. You know, I didn't want to lose her as a friend because I don't make many friends.
Were you sleeping with these guys
Yes.
she was introducing you
Yes,
to?
And
Your
that's
Honor,
why,
I
Your
was.
Honor, she doesn't know who her father, the child is.
I mean, I was dating Mr. Langford. He wasn't the guy that I was looking for.
And so you started dating Mr. Clopton as well?
I wasn't dating him. That was just like a one-night stand, Your Honor.
But obviously you slept with them during that same period of conception.
Yes.
Were there any other men you were with during this time?
There was a other guy that I had met at her house also.
Did you sleep with him as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, before anybody comes in here and tells me anything, I want you to know, number one, you're beautiful. You're a beautiful young woman. But it's only so much people can tell you that. You have to believe it yourself,
Yes.
okay? Now, I want you to come sit next to me here, and then we're going to bring in two of the possible fathers. And Jerome, will you please go get Mr. Langford and Mr. Clopton?
Yes.
Hello, gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here today. Please state your name for the court.
My name is Philip Langford.
Mr. Langford, and your name, sir?
My name is Corey Clopton.
So, Mr. Langford, I want to start with you. You were in a relationship with Ms. White.
Yes, ma'am.
Please tell me a little bit about your relationship.
We were dating for about a month, and after the month, she had some trust issues with me. After the fact that me and another of my friends had a threesome with her.
Was that during the time of conception?
Yes, ma'am. I was.
And so you are one of the possible fathers.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Mr. Clopton, what is your relationship to Ms. White?
I met Crystal White at a party. So she started coming to me and started saying, let's have sex and stuff. We had sex. The other guys, they ain't have on no condom.
Hold on. The other guy?
Yes, ma'am.
What other guy?
The other guy she used to date.
So she asked you to come in the room after you were intimate with Ms. White and you left out.
Yes,
This other gentleman came in the room.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. White, they're both claiming that they had sex with you on nights when other guys also had sex with you.
That's untrue, Your Honor.
That's not true.
That's not true, Your
But
Honor.
you do say that you had sex with both of them
Yes, Your Honor.
during the time of conception.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you say there's a third guy.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Ms. White, you, and understandably so, you seem upset by this.
I'm very upset, Your Honor. I just met Philip last year. He's so sure that he's the baby daddy. He even put on Facebook a picture of my grandbaby alongside his picture. I don't know Corey. This is my first time ever seeing him.
Mr. Clopton.
Yes, Your Honor. But going down there to Miss Miller's house, multiple partners I've heard that she's had sex with down there. And that's a rumor, it may be a rumor, I don't know. But I'm here for Christina and for my daughter. Christina did not choose her family. None of us chose who our family would be. And if either one of these young men is the father, I want you to stand up, help me, because I've been there.
Have either of these young men been there during her pregnancy and the birth? Have either of these young men been there during her pregnancy and the birth?
Philip, he came to the hospital. He tried to come at one time. But the other young man, Corey, I've never saw him before. But at least Philip have tried to be there.
So,
But
Mr. Langford, you have tried to step up and be a father.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Mr. Clopton, have you?
I ain't even know she was pregnant.
You never knew she was pregnant?
No,
That's not true.
Today came and told me.
Why you say it's not true?
Because he met my daughter at the train station and said, why are you trying to pin this baby on me? And I believe my daughter. I'm her mother. I believe her.
What happened, Christine?
I posted it on Facebook after I came from the doctor. I posted it on Facebook. It said like I've just found out I'm pregnant, and he commented on it, and he was like, "Who do you think the father is?"
You posted it because you didn't know who the father was, and you just wanted to let it.
No, I wanted to let my friends know because I told everybody that I was going to the doctor that day.
Did you know who the father was when you posted it?
No.
Oh. All right, I want to hear from Ms. Miller. Jerome, can you please escort Ms. Miller into the courtroom, please?
I blame this young lady for everything that happened. This happened at her house. The threesome and all the orgies happened at this young lady's house. You're wicked, and I thought you was Christy's friend. You're no friend of Christy's, and I want you to know that. I always respected you for you to allow this to happen at your house.
Hold on.
You put her life in danger. It's diseases out there. It's AIDS out there. You knew that was going on.
Well, she grown, so I can't tell her
Ms.
what
Miller,
You're supposed to
hold
be
on
her
one second.
friend.
Thank you for joining us, first off. Now, secondly, we have heard that there has been a lot going on at your house.
Exactly.
None of which has been positive.
Exactly.
I want to understand from you, Christy says you set her up on dates with guys. If you don't like them, then you set her up with another one. What is going on over there?
Well, Your Honor, I ain't set her or nobody. Christy came over and she was talking to my other friend before she met Mr. Langford. She was talking to my other friend and she was telling him she wanted to have sex with him before she even just knew him. She was just saying, I want to have sex with anybody. And I was there when they had the threesome at my house. Yes, ma'am, it happened at my house. I was there in the room with
But you're
them.
supposed to be her
true, Your
friend.
Honor.
You're supposed to
In
be
the
her friend and
room?
you let that
Yes,
happen.
and I can't
You're
control. I
supposed to
can't
be a
control
friend.
that because she's
If
a
that's your
grown
friend,
woman.
you could have called me.
That's a grown
You know
woman.
me.
I can't tell nobody what not to do and what to do.
But it's at your house.
Just like we not
It's
children.
going on.
me
It's
ask
at your
you something.
house.
We not children. I can't
It's
tell
at
you
your
what to do.
house.
My mama tell Christy all the time, and Christy know my mama. My mama say, Christy, you ain't got to sleep with these guys. You feel me? My mama say, I don't feel like, she be like, I don't feel like that. She said, I don't feel like you should sleep with these guys.
Hold on. Look, at the end of the day, you all can argue back and forth across this aisle, but this is her choice. And she admits that she's sleeping with men for the wrong reason. She already said that. Yeah. And ultimately, you know this is your responsibility.
Yes, Your Honor.
You know that.
Yes.
Because any friend that stands by and watches you having sex with man after man after man after man, that's not your friend. Now today, we're gonna break this cycle. Because you can't keep doing this. You're 18 years old, sleeping with men. You all using sex like it's a spectator sport. I don't care if another person in this world ever tells you you're beautiful. One thing's for sure, everybody's beautiful in the bed with their legs in the air. You hear me?
Yes.
That's the okie doke. You get it?
Yes, Your Honor.
You too smart to fall for that. You too beautiful to be in that. But you gotta know it for yourself. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, Your Honor.
But you're gonna get it together, starting today. Are we clear?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You all are not making it better for yourselves. You rushing into adulthood, don't know what you doing. We all, as Ms. White said, we don't choose our family, we can't choose where we come from, but the moment you make the choice to engage in activity that can produce a human being is the moment you have made the direct or indirect decision that it's time for you to grow up because now you gotta raise somebody.
Yeah.
You all got a lot of growing up to do, all of you. I can't believe young people your age, and I'm looking at you, and you all are people's parents. I'm not laughing, I'm scared. Because this whole thing can repeat itself. When you look at your beautiful baby girl, can you imagine her in a room with guy after guy after guy?
No, Your Honor.
Can you even imagine that?
No.
Is that what you want for her?
No.
So what you gonna do about it?
I'm going to job court to get my high school diploma, and I'm gonna do better for her.
Okay. Miss White, are you okay?
Just want to know who the daddy is of my grandbaby. It's about her. I heard nothing about love. I love that baby. I love her so much. She need a daddy in her life. I'm hoping Philip is the daddy so we'll know the daddy is here. I can touch him. Please
And
let
if
it
he's
be
not
him.
the father?
She still have a father, her granddaddy. And me, that's all she needs. She gonna be taken care of regardless, Your Honor. We love her.
Now, the first thing we need to do is determine whether either of these two men is the father of beautiful Christina. All right, Jerome, do you have the results?
There you go, Your Honor.
Thank you. The first result relates to Mr. Clopton. In the case of White versus White, when it comes to the paternity of 3-month-old Christina White, Mr. Clopton, you are not the father.
Good. 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 Good.
You all right?
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Please say what you want to say, young man.
I'm sorry for everything with you just going on. I'm going through a lot right now.
Listen, I could see on your face when you walked in this courtroom there was a lot on your mind. I'm going to get to these other results, and then I'm going to talk to you young people, because you all are not making it better for yourselves. You rushing into adulthood, don't know what you doing. Now, I'll go to the next result. These results relate to Mr. Langford. In the case of White versus White, when it comes to the paternity of 3-month-old Christina White, Mr. Langford, you are her father.
Told you, bro.
Made you emotional. You happy?
Yeah, I'm happy. Yeah. Yes, Your Honor, I'm happy.
How do you feel, Kristen?
I just feel like Mr. Langford is very childish and immature.
Girl, let me tell you something. I looked at these two young men, and truthfully, they were the last two I expected to cry, and both of them broke down in tears. Because at some point they understood what was at stake. I look over at you, and you dried-eyed and bushy-tailed. I don't know if it's just that you hold everything in because you just don't know what or how to express, but I have to challenge you to take a deep look at yourself and your behavior